I'm not really a big fan of this buff, but I do think it's gonna be very impactful. Never heard of GGK? I mean, I guess there's a lot of people who haven't heard about it, but I would still say it's the like most relevant collab run out that we've had. Kinda, at least. Tier list? I mean, I guess everyone already went over all the changes, right? So at least we can make a tier list out of the changes. Maybe that's more interesting. Okay, let me pull up the patch notes as well, so I know what I'm doing. It's gonna be a little bit strange to this though, because it's gonna be like a little bit of a mix of how good I think the change is and how impactful I think it will be. It's like even though a unit might not be crazy after the patch, I would still like rate it high if it's like a good direction. First time we do a tier list. Is it? I feel like I've done one before, but maybe not. Yulong and S. I mean, you would if this was like a real tier list. Oh, okay, so I will just go through the lines of all the units. Alright, so Chandra nerf. Where's Chandra? Oh, I guess there's only enough 5s here. That's the only bad thing, because I would like to put Dark Robo pretty high. Yeah, let's just do the enough 5s then. Because these ones actually have the hackers as well. I mean, if it's weird to put a like a nerf in S, but I feel like that was probably one of the nerfs they could do without like nerfing him compared to what it was before, because I don't think it was in nerf territory before the patch, right? Like it was still strong, but now it should be like power neutral. Because now I think you want to go Despair Chandra even more, and I mean you still lost Despair chance, but it's still worth it to get the crit. So I still think it's a lot stronger than it was before the change, right? I mean, I think that change was still fine, so I would just put it here. Because they could have easily like gotten him way harder. Like this is still like a buff for him relative to what it was before the auto crit. But it's kind of weird because that's like. I mean, I guess it's the same for the Wind Bison, right? Those were the only nerfs, and also the Light Series for some reason. We should put the Light Series here. Okay, I think this was weird. I mean, I think the buff to S2 is fine. But I'm not really sure why they nerfed it. Was it that strong? Because I don't think I ever fought a Light Series. Yeah, and then Dockbiller was the only other nerf, I'm pretty sure. Right. Is that even like the nerf people wanted to make him squishier? I mean, I guess it's good because now you can just nuke him, right? Maybe it was like the issue of that he was like such a strong bruiser and you could never kill him. So maybe it is a good nerf. Maybe it's even better than. I mean, I guess any nerfs except for this one is fine here. He's so dumb. Just because he's one of the few siege defense units, right? But I feel like there will always come new siege defense units anyways. As soon as there's like a unit that's crazy in RTA, it can probably be used on siege defense. But yeah. I guess that's the thing. Like units that are crazy on siege defense are always like crazy overloaded compared to everything else. Because that's like the only way siege defense can kind of work. That's the scary thing. Alright, Thessalian change. Okay, so we talked a little bit about that one last time, right? They just give him back the damage reduction that he lost. Which I don't think they should have removed in the last place. So I don't think it's a terrible buff. It was a terrible change in the first place. So like if we rate the like 3-turn Oblivion that I got last patch, I'll rate it quite highly. But like this change doesn't really make sense. I mean, it makes sense that they're giving it back. But I don't know why they removed it in the first place. So maybe let's put it here, because I guess it's good that he's getting back still. That does make sense. Alright, let's rate Gianna. Thing is, I'm a little bit like divided on the Gianna buff, because I don't think it's undeserved. Like, I think she got outpaced by Robo's Giga Hard. But it also feels weird to like remove her biggest weakness. But then again, I guess there's so many ways to deal with her anyway, so it's not terrible. Like, now it's actually more equivalent to like a Robo in the last picks. So I guess I'm fine with that buff. I don't think we'll see it too much still. Because at least like last pick Robos you can go into against stuff, but I guess if you're fighting Chloe's or like fast Wusas and stuff, they would much rather pick a Gianna. So I guess for those cases she's even better. And she's also good into early birds, because you don't really care about trip revenge birds anymore. So that's quite nice, I guess. It's probably like the best stripper against trip revenge birds now. Oh, second change. Where is he? Dark Monkey. Okay, so why Gianna buff, not Jaeger buff? Thing is, Jaeger buff has happened like 5 months in a row, it feels like. I think the Gianna buff is alright. What do you think about Gianna? I mean, I was just talking about it, but I think it's a little bit of a strange change because that was always her main weakness. But I think that's a little bit outdated as well, so I don't really mind it. Because I guess Gianna changed. I mean, if we're talking just Juni's strength, or like how the buff impacted it, it should probably be here. Because she's like, yeah, I think we put Gianna there. Because now she's like a completely different monster now. Like now she's even, like the fact that you can skill 3 into your own skill 2. Wait, Gianna's kind of crazy now. Imagine Gianna Eleanor now. You like skill 3, skill 2, and then you just skill 2, skill 3, and it's crazy. Yeah, that's the hard thing, because we're not really rating the units like where they would place in the meta, just if the buffs really make sense. And I guess it does and doesn't. What's Gianna buff? Gianna stuns now even when there's no buff. Like, I still don't think Gianna will be picked a crazy amount. Depends if people are like shying away from Heigang or not. And I mean, Dark Monkey's buff is also crazy, right? Because now he's actually gonna do his thing. Like, I'm pretty sure his. Well, let me check what his land. $85%? Yeah, it's 85% times 2. For him to land. But then you also have to have the like resistance in mind. So like before it was basic 72% chance to land. And now you have, wait. Okay, so he's kind of crazy. I'm pretty sure it's like consistency went up by like 3 times. Like now he lands 92% of the time on each unit instead of 72. I don't think it really changed function though. I mean, it probably did because now you can rely on it so much more. I mean, I would like to put it in S just because I like it. I think it would be a good buff though. Is that what I said? No, it's light Siri because they just nerfed this passive damage. Like, in case the... Okay, so the thing is, the reason why I also think the light Siri change is weird is because I don't see her much. And if the skill 2 buff is that huge, even if she had the original skill 3 damage, the water one would still be way more broken. Because the water one, you don't need any crit rate, you just go full damage speed. So it will still hit harder. And be like harder to kill because of the anti-crit and stuff. So that's why I don't think that really makes sense. I mean, I should put another Siri as well. Just for the... Because I think the other Siri change does make sense. But we're gonna have to see how much the damage differs. What else was juicy? Oh, the water bison change, right? Okay, so I don't know, this unit is always weird to me. Like, I feel like it's used for safety, right? I feel like this change makes him less safe. So... Doesn't that just, like, make him worse? Because, like, why would you use him now? Instead of just another damage dealer, then. But like a Giga Nerf? I mean, I guess they're saying that you can just go with a full tank team and then we'll make your team deal damage. But I feel like that's... I don't know, it's just a weird change. What is it serious for? It's just like ranking the changes in the balance patch. Basically, and just discussing them a bit. Because I think everyone already went over all the... like most of the changes, right? So we can do this instead. Alright, Water Hacker, okay. Water Hacker might be like the unit that I'm the most excited for. This patch. Mainly because they didn't nerf Heigang again, and I feel like this should outperform Robos in terms of countering Heigangs, which is kind of needed. And I think using the skill 2 will also be interesting, because the skill 2 also got a buff, right, with Absorb. I mean, I think both hackers got crazy buffs. Because Light One also got crazy buffed. Like, at least my Dark One got buffed, because otherwise it would be very salty that Light Hacker got like a mega buff before Trinity. Because I think Light Hacker is a crazy unit now. I thought it was like easily one of the worst 33 leads, but now it's really good. Like, adding 2 turns slow is maybe even like crazier than adding like 2 turn speed buff. Okay, not really, but it's close. So that's like a significant buff, and they also buffed this skill 2 at the same time. So I think Light Hacker probably got he's probably like the big winner from the patch. And Illudia, of course, yeah. Let's bring up Illudia quick. Because I mean that one's kind of self-explanatory. Now I think both Gianna and Illudia are like some of the best secondary strippers they can pick. Like, in basically most situations, except against early Heigangs, we will pick like maybe a Robo instead or a Water Hacker. Like, those two are just so consistent at just winning the game from that spot. Like, Illudia is easily one of my most wanted now. And there's so many cool teams you can do as well, because like, let's say if you're running some type of booster in front, then you can still play against Heigangs. Because you get the damage, you get the defense break before you deal the damage. But you're also going to get the defense break damage before Heigang cleanses it. And then if you still have a booster, you can also move in front of the Heigang after, because of Illudia's boost now. So even though it's weak into Heigang, I still think there's like ways around it. I don't think the 99 base speed matters much, because Illudia is not a unit that you put your best set on. You just put like a... like, even a plus 205 can be fine. You can even go a little bit faster if you go like crit rates before. Like, sure, you're gonna deal as much damage, but then you still boost as well, right? Like, it's really sick. Oh, Jonas is just gonna pick it with Heigang? I mean, probably, yeah. But I feel like that's a very common thing that's happening with AoE strippers now. It was the same with like Lila, right? And she was supposed to counter Heigang. Okay, next unit is pure vanilla cookie. I mean, I've had this change. It's not terrible, but I feel like I feel like everyone was just expecting this change, which might not be a bad thing. I mean, I think it's better than the Tesla change. The Tesla change was just... That was basically like when they nerfed Chow and then just gave it back the next patch. For no reason. But that's why I like this patch, because there's not that much of that. Like, most of the changes make some sense. Alright, Dark Devil Maiden. Okay, so... I don't think it's a terrible change, because... It was like a double buff, because they reduced the turns needed for the skill to come back, and she also gains a turn instantly. So now if you're like somehow able to stay in the form for a few turns, you can instantly turn back. And if you can do that, you can basically never die, because you get a separate health bar every time you transform. I still feel like the demon form doesn't have enough impact to like justify losing 2 skills for it. I feel like that's the main issue. Otherwise, she would probably be pretty good. I don't think it was a bad buff. There's just some other issues with the demon form. It looks cool, yeah, and now you can way easier come back into it. Because I'm pretty sure you get a turn when you transform as well, right? So it goes from 7 to 6 turns, and then it's already down to 5 turns, and then it's already down to 4 turns when she takes a turn herself. Which is still pretty long, but at least it's like a big difference from before, because before it was basically like 6 turns instead of 4 turns. But I mean, it would still be hard to use, but at least it's like a very big buff. Bayek. I mean, I think this was a Bayek buff that I've been asking for a long time, because it doesn't make much sense. That their skill ones were so bad. Because a lot of them also rely on the skill ones. Like Salah and this Win guy, right? Like all of them are basically just skill oneing the whole time. For most of it. My Dark Monkey is not new, right? Wait, what am I saying? No, Dark Monkey is like 2 years old at this point. Man, I'm fried. Like, my head was banging around during the roller coasters. Especially the last one I was on. Salah got buffed. Yeah, all of them got HP scaling now on their S1s. Yeah, I think it was a good change. Probably not, like, everyone's basically expecting this, I think. Like, this was the most obvious S1 buff to them. Which I don't think is bad, but I like it when they're, like, going a bit crazy and, like, showing that they're daring. It's just a bit annoying when they're, like, daring and they don't, and they're, like, refuse to nerf the unit after. Which sometimes happens too. But I still like it in general, because I prefer a patch where a lot of impactful stuff happen, rather than just nothing for a couple patches in a row. Alright, Hathor buff. Yeah, I think that's also like a middle of the... Where is she? I think that's an okay buff. Like, it's mainly against Junos, right? Because there's not that many things that counter the anti-sleep. Or like the cleanses the sleep. This bumpers gives 0 fun. Yeah, I mean, depends a little bit on which units you have, but I think there's a lot of cool ones. Like, I like the series changes a lot. Depending, like, we'll see how the multipliers are affected, but I think series will be a lot of fun for a lot of people. Farak is really good, but I don't think it was changed, right? Or was he? Pretty sure it wasn't. Alright, Benedict change. I think Benedict's change was good, because I think one of Benedict's main issues was that he was so squishy, right? For feeling like a bruiser. But now you can at least justify going a bit more tank on him. Because now you're getting a lot of damage for free as well. Getting out the return? I don't think so, no. I mean, I think it's an alright buff for Hathor. But then again, the anti-cleanse, it's only really against Juno, and the Juno still gets speed buffed. Which is a bit of an issue. I mean, I still think Ganethor can work. But I don't think this buff is gonna change too much. Because, like, let's say a Vela procs out, then it would still be terrible for you. Even though I have, like, one cleanse block. Oh, wait! Cleanse block is crazy against Pater. Okay. We found it. Against Pater, it's a crazy buff. So, Pater users are down bad if they're trying to counter Ganethor. That's what we figured out. I mean, Pater is kind of down bad against Ganethor anyways because of Gani. But at least Hathor counters Pater without Gani getting through. Because a lot of people ban one of them, right? But now you're kind of like fine against Pater on both sides. Which is like one of the traditional bard counters. I mean, nowadays you have stuff like Fire Monkey and Juno and stuff, which work as well. Does it also work on Juno? It does, yeah. But Juno will still get the healing and the speed buff. So it's very hard for them to, like, stop the Juno from being annoying anyways, even though there's, like, one turn cleanse block. It does help a bit, though. But I wouldn't say it's as drastic, again, or compared to something like Pater, in that case. Jara change. No, I mean, I guess the Jara change is good. Because I feel like before it was too niche, like now you could probably actually use it. Because now you can like set up kills on units, which are really awkward to set up skills on otherwise. There's no way Jara can land on Akroma though, right? Or can she? Wait! I think she might be able to. It can? Yeah, that's pretty sick. Like, that alone is very cool. Yeah, it can, because Harmwood can Despair Stun Akromas. So yeah, Jara should be able to set up kills on Akromas. That's true. I mean, I think now it's like 100 times more usable. And if you put damage on light, you can probably one-shot Julian's really easily. Like, sure, some might say the damage is lacking. But I think as long as you put damage on light, if that's what you're trying to do, you should be able to kill almost all of them. Because of the crazy base attack and everything. And I believe you don't even need to have all the crit rate, right? Let me check Jara quick. Yeah, exactly. So you just get auto crit as well. So there's no way... Like, if you build for it with artifacts, there's no way a Julian survives. And the good thing is, as you kill the Julian, if there's a Vanessa, you can kill it again, because the Nemesis won't proc. I mean, even if the Nemesis proc, you will still get a proc. But yeah, like, killing it in one hit doesn't even proc the Nemesis. Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool change. I don't think we're gonna see that crazy amount, but it is way more usable now, for sure. Like, you can even like defense break and brand a more now and kill it with a, like a multi-hit turn 1. Which I feel like no other unit can do. So that alone is like pretty nice. Okay, what else do I have? Ooh. I didn't really read about the Yennefer's that much. But they changed... Okay, they changed Absorb into a stun. And then they changed it into immunity instead of cleanse for the other ones. Wait, I didn't even know that the Dark Yennefer had a cleansing skill. That's weird. I'm not really a big fan of those though. Oh, they asked about Tessa though. Maybe Tessa should go down here, honestly. Ah, but no, I can't. Because Tessa, like, Tessa still should have gone on her back. It's just, I hate it when they do that. Like, nerf a unit for no reason and then just give it back. But then again, I would hate it more if they didn't give it back. So maybe I should still put it in C. Yeah, then what if Firelight got the stun instead? Which I guess is not bad for the Fire one, because now Fire one can spread the stun as well. So for her, I think it actually makes a lot of sense. But it might be worse for the Water one, because the Water one already stuns. So let me do this, and then do... This is the Fire one, right? Yeah, it is. There's no Force Stone one here. Lucifer S. I mean, Lucifer wasn't changed. Oh. And next there's Sky Surfers. It hurts because I'm not really a big fan of this buff, but I do think it's going to be very impactful. Because it's a bit weird, because this... I'm like ranking based on how much I like the buffs and how impactful it is. I guess then I have to like put it here. Like impactful wise, I think it might even be here. For like both of them. But I don't know if that was the right way to buff them, so... Maybe A is fine. I still like that there's like balance change, like big balance changes though in front of SWC. So I still like respect them and put them here. Dark Monk should go here though. Crazy unit. He will make his debut soon. Oh, Striker. Okay, let me read the Striker first. Because I didn't exactly understand what happened. Okay, so he basically just always AoE defense break now, right? And then he also defense breaks the enemy target. You were at the weird condition? Yeah, I mean, that's probably a little bit similar to like Eludie and Jonathan, right? But I would still like those two more, I think. But that should be like a very impactful buff for him. Pretty sure. But I still think you just... I mean, I think most of those AoE strippers, just because of Heigang, are like late picks. But as late picks, they're like... really nutty. Was almost unusable before? Yeah. I mean, I think this is okay. Like, his skill 2 is still really weak. It's just that if they like make his skill 2 strong somehow, then it's gonna be a wild unit. But, I mean, I think it's good that they're still working on him. Because I feel like a lot of the changes felt a little bit off. But now it at least makes some sense, right? Yeah, I know they gave him the extra chaining. But that was like a Douglas buff more than anything else. Macliffe needs more S2. If that happens, he would be... like my most wanted, probably. So maybe that's a bit steep. But they could like give the S2 some extra thing that only happens when he uses it on their turn. So like Douglas doesn't get it for free, right? Because Douglas didn't really need the last buff. And he definitely doesn't need another one. Alright, so sadly I don't have the Hypni Mouse and the Robos on this Tierlist maker. Fire Robo change I would probably put in S even. I like that one a lot. Alright, who can be our Fire Robo placeholder? This guy? John? Yeah, let's go John. Oh, Ken is good. Ken is good. I like Ken because who cares about Ken, you know? It's obvious that it's something else. Because there was like Miles and stuff in the balance patch already. Wait, is there even a Ken here? I don't think it's a Ken. Because I don't see a Sharon either, to be honest. Above? Dude, I'm looking. I mean, I've seen Sashiso always struggling with these two. I can understand it now. Oh, there it is. There it is. I like the robo change. I still think it's pretty hard because you probably want to give it a really good despair set anyways. But I think just giving it a somewhat fast one and pick it into like maybe Sierras, even some Chandras would be really sick. Because you get a 100% chance to strip and 100% chance to absorb with it. And now you get it, like, if you S2 and take a turn because you absorb too much, you will get it back instantly if the enemy procs at some point. So I do think Dark Robo or Fire Robo will be pretty crazy. Especially against, like, Antares. If you ever need an even better Antares counter that also strips. Would rather get Eludia or Jara? Oh, honestly, I think, Jara might be one of the craziest Han setups now. To be honest. I mean, I would still rather take Eludia though, because I think the Eludia buff is really crazy. But I think Jara will be usable now. It's still going to be a rare occurrence though, when you pick it. I want to see Pinkroyd bring it out, because I know Pinky has Jara. This is for the balance patch right now. But yeah, it's mainly for RTA, yeah. It's still a little bit about Siege, because like... is it? I mean, I guess it's good for AD. I think for Siege, I don't know how much people like it, because... I mean, people who want to have good defenses don't like it. People who want to win like it. Because it's easier to hit, basically. Oh, yeah, we have Shio change as well. I missed that. I think Shio change is good. Because I feel like Shio has such weak base stats when it comes to like tankiness. It's nice to remove some of his conditions. But then again, they're just always buffing Shio. I feel like... but it was weird because Water Monkey was an attack unit initially, like where you went speed attack attack or speed attack HP, but then they added a crit rate condition with the strip stun, which basically forced you. So I think it's kind of nice that they're bringing back into that at least. Because I don't know if the condition was like necessary, but I guess we'll see how it impacts him in the end. With Acker OP. I mean, the impact of this buff lab on him is going to be huge, in my opinion. Like, I'll be trying a lot of Water Hacker and see how I like it. But my initial impression is that I think the buff will have a crazy impact. I mean, I still think that Jackson is probably going to be a better unit in the end. But I think, buff-wise, I think the impact will be crazy for Water Hacker. Alright, what else do we have? Dryads. Okay, who do we use for Dark Dryad then? Pater? That's almost a Dryad, right? That's a Druid. I mean, I like it because I like Dark Dryad. Maybe I'll play it a bit. But I don't think it's a crazy buff. It's nice though. I think you just middle of the pack. Which they gave Jackson defense break. And I think the S2 buff is also big for him. Because Jackson cuts in pretty consistent, right? And now if you can stun more easily, it's easy for you to disrupt. So I think for both Miles and Jackson, it's a really big buff. I just think Miles might be a bit of a menace, because now Miles is like definitely favored to fuck you up turn 1. And since he gets so much speed for free, that might be an issue. So yeah, if you have good shield runes, definitely try Miles out. I think it's going to be wild. Dryad Fire. I mean, they nerfed. I've never seen Fire Dry reviews really, and they still like removed an effect to add the like Miyang type effect, which I guess might be fine for like TOA stuff and things like that. You get an extra buff prolonger. But did they really have to nerf it though? I don't think so, right? Where's the druid at? Oh, there's the Sharon as well. I don't really like that change much. Yeah, I think that was all the units. Which I don't think is too bad, because I feel like usually when you have a patch, I feel like 80% of the changes are like down here even. A lot of the time. At least now we're having a lot of like alright changes and a lot of interesting ones. I think that is how I would rank the changes. Like with like if you're taking impact and how relevant they will be. Like maybe Miles will be more relevant than Hacker, but I think the Hacker buff will still be more impactful, even though Miles might be more relevant. Because Miles is already very relevant, right? Same with Jackson. You're right, I forgot about Kashmir. Doesn't matter though, wait, I forgot about Gingerbrave too. You're right, you're right. Okay, let me go back then. But both of them basically got the same buff, right? Gingerbrave and Wind Ryu. Like, I'm not even that opposed to Wind Ryu, but I don't think this buff is really gonna be it. I think that's another C for me. I would say. I think for Gingerbrave it's a little bit nicer, because he just dies after turn 1 usually, right? So I think for him it matters a lot. But for Kashmir, he's usually winning if he already pops off. And I don't think him protecting himself matters as much, because you're supposed to be winning already. So that's why I put that in C, and then Gingerbrave would probably have to go like in C as a buff. Or B, I mean. Like Gingerbrave, you might actually see. Like because I feel like in EU SFC there's so many insane Swift guys and a couple that are not as insane Swift. But he would be like one of the units that can actually help you speed fight those speed demons. Yeah, Ken is fire Robo here. So it's just a placeholder, because there's only enough 5s in the Tierlist thing. But yeah, I would say this is the overall impression I get from the patch. So like not that many like terrible changes. The only thing I didn't really like was the that was a lack of like leader skill and awakening changes. If they added those, it would probably be like one of the best patches, in my opinion. Dark Monkey's a little high. I mean, I think that buff will have a crazy impact on Dark Monkey in terms of how good he is. That's the thing.